All right, family, let's get into it real quick right here on Bro Creek Radio, right? Now, the young lady that put this together, and I'll post some of the questions and concerns that she had in dealing with the friend Eddie, aka Eddie Haskell. So, on my left, you have Austin Metcalf, the white guy. Then you have Carmelo Anthony, right? The brother, the black guy. Then you have his friend Eddie, the brother, the black guy. Could be a mulatto, could just be light skinned. But with this, we want to get into the house nigga and the slave nigga, right? Or the house nigga and the field nigga that Malcolm X was so famously noted for in the expression of the differences between the two, right? Okay. And I'll show you how this all ties into the Carmelo Anthony uh, trial. So you're in a small town, Collin, Texas, right? And you have these different dynamics that still plays out because a lot of the mindsets that people face in small towns are still prevalent in today's time, even though we are living in the year 2026, right? Now, a lot of people thought that the house slave, right, had it better than the field slave. But look at the smile on Eddie, aka Eddie Haskell's face, right? He'll tell you, right? The house slave or house nigga will tell you, man, it's rough in this house, right? Slave master wake up drunk and the whole house is in trouble. The house slave could tell you some horrible things that they went through, but they didn't want to share some of the things that they or what happened to them because they were embarrassed. They didn't want people to know what all that slave master was doing to them. I mean, can you imagine you locked in the house, right? Nowhere to run. You are at his beck and call. He was raping the women and the men. How do you think that you had a lot of mulatto children during those times? Because it didn't matter the woman, right? He picked the woman out of the field, right? Rape her. She have a mulatto child. As that child grows up, she grows up in a house, and he would rape her to have another child, and so forth. And you would say, well, that's incest because the mother and the daughter both had a child by the same white man. But he didn't see that as incest because he didn't claim neither one of them or the children, right? He didn't have that empathy or that capacity to even understand what he was doing was wrong because it was not in his nature to understand. So when people say, well, wow, how could they just be so brutal in their actions and their activities, right? In his mindset, he thought that he was closer to God. That's why they painted Jesus white. He thought that his form of Christianity allowed him to do whatever he wanted to do to his slaves because in his sick mind, he's seen the slaves as his property. Right? So whether you were in the house or whether you were in the field, you both got called nigga. It wasn't no difference. The only difference was made was by the slaves. The slaves was like thought in their mind, well, at least, to get out of this heat and to get out of this brutality of picking cotton, slaving, working, sweating, can't see morning to can't see night, at least if some of my blood or part of me can make it in that house, then maybe they would have a better life, and they can have a better life than the field slave, right? But they didn't have a better life. They suffered mental trauma, physical abuse. They was raped. They were tortured. I mean, think about it. You at arm's reach of the savage. You are at arm's reach of a brutal taskmaster. So you didn't have it better. But you had to put your smile on and walk outside and act like, yeah, it's better in this house. I can sit in this AC and I can get me a drink of water whenever I want to. And the field slave was like, oh man, I envy that, bro. That's wow, man. I wish I could be in there with you, but hey, at least some of us got it. And so, but wait. In some instances, we did work together. Sometimes the house slave would relate a message to the field slave of some of the plannings of the slave master and what was getting ready to take place, so the field slave can have a jump, especially if it was time to run away, or if they wanted, or if it was time to rebel, to overthrow, right? Mutiny, whatever. But the whole goal was freedom. So it was sad, and it's still sad today in 2026 when we try to create a difference between dark skin and light skin, also known as colorism, because it's a moot point. It doesn't make sense. It has no value in American society. Because when you ask Austin Metcalf, what do you see when you see Eddie, aka Eddie Haskins, and Carmelo Anthony? He gonna say two niggas. Right? Now I know that's painful because for some reason in the black community, somebody wanna be the one. Somebody wanna have the juice. Somebody wanna outdo someone. Somebody wanna say, yeah, I bought these new Jordans yesterday. Oh, well, man, I got you beat because I bought mine today. But who cares? You both got Jordans. You know what I mean? It really, and it doesn't matter in this society. Look, the only game that black people must play is real life Monopoly, because business is a blood sport. Learn what I'm saying and learn the meaning of that on your own. But now, this is the thing. What Willie Lynch taught, and if you go to Verb Pick Radio on YouTube, you'll see our video and our lecture that we did on Willie Lynch and the making of a slave, right? He used color, the dark against the light. He said, pit the dark against the light. Use that as an advantage for the slave master. Had them fighting over each other. I'm lighter than you. I'm darker than you. I'm lighter than you, so I'm closer to the master than you. I'm darker than you, so the further away from the master I am. We tried to find something that we can hold as value to keep our self-esteem going under such horrible conditions, right? But we haven't killed that mindset. Look, they even fighting each other over in Africa. When now all y'all, we see all y'all as Africans. You some be saying, well, I'm South African. I don't like the Nigerians, and I don't like I don't like Ghana, and I don't like Kenya. I don't want to go deal with them Ethiopians, right? I don't claim Egypt. I'm not dealing with Morocco, although it's out in Africa and black folks was there from the beginning, even in America. You got cities going against. I don't like the East Coast. I don't like the West Coast. Now, if one thing you should understand from this Carmelo Anthony trial is, right, and you have to look at it from a different perspective, right? They'll show a picture of Anthony Metcalf's family taking a picture with the judge, right? But that's just how they see unity. They see unity as a team effort. It's a lesson that we have to learn from the way that they band together in the crisis versus how we band together in the crisis. See, they band together before the crisis even happens. We band together after the crisis. When we got more in common than we do in division. We have more things that are alike, right? As the question was going on throughout social media to black people. When you dream, have you ever had a dream where a white person was in your dream? And across the board, it was a no. Right? That's the basis of why there should be unification. Right? But you dealing with a clever, I don't know if I want to say scientist, but you're dealing with a clever system that creates a narrative of disunification, and they put it in the media, put it in the programs, put it in the media, and they put a dollar value behind it, and we will fight each other to get to that dollar value that's behind our disunification. And they sit back and be like, wow, I don't think these guys will never figure it out. Matter of fact, they might even be tired of playing the game. They like, come on, man, we giving you all the clues and all the hints, and y'all still can't figure it out. You will have, look, give you an example. FIFA World Cup, right? You will have a dark-skinned brother playing for Mexico that will score the first goal, and the whole crowd in the Azteca Stadium goes crazy. Mexico is winning. Then you have a brother on a United States soccer team that will score 2 goals, and everybody in the crowd goes crazy. Right? But they will have that brother from the USA soccer team and that brother from Mexico soccer team and not even speaking to each other, not even liking each other, right? And they both in the same sport. Have them saying, I'm representing this, and have the other saying I'm representing that, and have them two fighting each other. But they don't even see the bigger picture. You will have the Congo soccer team, right, in the World Cup, and you will have them saying, I'm not Black American. I'm no black. I don't deal with black, right? Blacker than black, but you say you different than the black in America. Then you have a black in America who say, I don't associate with them Africans. I'm this kind of black, right? And so, if I was an evil scientist, right, I would sit back in the cut and say, wait a minute, I'm gonna start off by saying I can't tell none of them the difference. They all niggas to me, right? And I'm gonna sit back in the cut and say, wait a minute. If I can get them to not like each other, the more focus they have on tearing each other up, they won't even bother even looking at me. And it's like taking candy from a baby. I can walk away without a will. and I can use them to make my will. And it's like, wow, man, it's that simple. I think it might be even so simple to even black elites might be getting in on the act. Hey, let's make money off them niggas since they don't know how to come together. Honorable Elijah Muhammad said our unity is more powerful than the atomic bomb. Our unity is more powerful than the atomic bomb. So powerful and so simple and easy to do. And the obstacles that keep us separated is Willie Lynch and colorism. And we both can get the same treatment. It's like slave master give one 10 slashes, he'll get the other one 9 slashes, and the one that got the 9 slashes say, "Ooh, at least I ain't get 10 like you." It's like, nigga, you both got slashes. Who cares if it's 1 or 10? It's another man hitting you, fool. So, look, I'm just saying all this to go into the trial to show you why Eddie Haskell didn't come forth and say, yeah, I invited Carmelo Anthony in the tent. Because he's scared. He got to live around them. He know how many times he been called a nigga. How many times he got punched and threatened. Man, in Fifth for his life, it don't matter if one of his parents was white. He know. See, that house nigga know. He in with him. He right in the house with him. He knows how dangerous and how deadly they can be towards anybody with one drop of black in their blood. So he's quiet. He's not gonna say nothing, right? The field nigga, right, or the field slave, don't realize he had it better, because he had distance, and he had time and distance from the slave master. So he can think, he can study that field, he can study the insects, he can study nature and figure a way how to use that against the slave master or task master. He can look and see, wow, man, look how this sun, how harsh the sun is to them. He can sit back and think. And then he can put that all together in his plot for freedom and see how he can utilize nature to help himself be free. The house slave couldn't do that. The only relief he had was some shade. That's it. Shade from the sun. Right? That was the only relief he had from that slave master. His mama couldn't save him. If his daddy was white, he wasn't going to slave him. He had to watch and hear the slave master do horrible things to his mother. Couldn't do nothing about it, right? Then on top of that, he had to go outside and deal with the darker skinned people who kind of gave him a little slight eye. Like, you know, you not one of us. You got that white blood in you. You different. And now y'all getting called nigga. You know, it was hate. It was enough hate to be thrown around. Hate from the dark-skinned people against the light-skinned people, and hate from the light-skinned people against the dark-skinned people. And in reality, the slave master looking back at his own blood that he raped and fathered the children with after he raped that woman and called all of them niggas. So there is no colorism between whether you a Hispanic or Mexican who claim to be racist. That's funny to black people to see a racist Hispanic, because we know your history. We know about the black grandmother and your black great grandmother. We know how the Spaniards and the Romans came and had sex with them dark skinned indigenous Mexicans, and that's how y'all got lighter, and then y'all start marrying each other to get lighter and lighter. And y'all cool theory. We understand. We know all about that. So when you see a Hispanic trying to be racist, we looking like, yeah, yeah, whatever, man. It's not even. It's more a pity. It's more a pity at the fact that you don't know your history and what took place, because we know the history. So when we hear it, it's like, yeah, okay, that's whatever, man. You know, but you would do good by unifying and uniting with the black people. So we all you got. How you think you got rights in America? But that's for another show. So in conclusion, don't get it twisted. It don't matter if you're a mulatto or if you darker than Shaka Zulu, the darkest dark. In the slave master's eyes, he gonna say nigga nigga. You might say, well, at least I'm closer to the slave master's color than you are. And the darker skinned person might say, at least I'm so far away from the slave master color than you are. At the end of the day, nigga nigga.